So you might have heard me talk about modulators quite a bit when I've been programming things and doing synthesis and whatnot. A modulator is essentially just something that we use in synthesis to affect something else. So it modulates it. It might make it go up or down or left or right or in and out. One of my favourite modulators is the envelope. And an envelope, as you might expect, opens and closes, but synthesizer envelopes have different stages to them to allow you to control how the opening and closing happens, and then you can use that to affect all sorts of things. So let me show you some of the things envelopes can do. So right here I have a basic sound, but the envelope generator here is assigned to the volume of the sound. So we have 4 stages to an envelope: attack, decay, sustain, and release. So the attack is how long it takes to get to the top level. The sustain is where it stays, but the bit in between, the decay, is how long it takes to get from the top level back down to the sustain. And then the release is how long it takes to fade out once you let go of the key. So let me show you how that works in reality. So right now, just a plain sound. It starts, it stops. If I turn the attack up, it will fade in. And if I turn the sustain down, so this is the level that it's going to stay at, you'll hear a little jump. So it reaches the top and then quickly drops right back down again. So this is where the decay comes into it, that I can tell that how long to take to ramp back down to the sustain level. And then the release is how long the sound takes to fade away when I take my finger off the key. So it's doing a sort of open and close and release. That's a really basic way that we use envelopes to sort of mould the sound a little bit. Let me show you some of the other things that envelopes are cool for. Let's not worry about saving that. So this envelope I have assigned to the pitch of the sound. So now the pitch will ramp, like the volume ramped before, the pitch will ramp up and then back down again. So if I take the attack time right down, it starts to decay immediately down to the sustain level. If I put the sustain level right up and the decay right down, we go back to just being a plain note. And we ramp up. Or if we bring the sustain down and the decay back up, then we go up and down. And wherever I set the sustain is where the end result will be. There we are. Another one, and this is one of my favourite ones. So an LFO, let me get rid of the envelope for a minute. An LFO is, as I mentioned in another video, is a low frequency oscillator. So it moves up and down, up and down, up and down, but at a much slower rate than the type of oscillating waves that we use to make the noise. So this one is set to affect the pitch of the sound. And if I change the frequency here, it gets faster or slower. So I'm going to use an envelope to do that so that the modulation of the LFO gets faster and faster and faster and faster and then slows down again. So let's plug this envelope into the LFO. Again, I can change that by using the different attack, decay, sustain, and release here. So this is how long it takes to get up to that maximum, which is not very long. And because the decay is turned right down, it goes immediately to the sustain level, which is turned right down as well. But again, if I want it to ramp up and ramp back down again, just a little bit of playing. Oh, on and on and on with envelopes. Honestly, this is why they're one of my favourite things, is because I can basically achieve just about anything by plugging an envelope into another kind of thing. So one last one, let's have a look at a filter. So a filter is another sound shaping device. So if I use the cutoff of the filter, it changes the type of sound that we have. So it's a bit like opening and closing well, it is opening and closing a filter essentially, which is filtering out certain frequencies. But again, I can use the envelope to do that for me. So I want it to open it slightly slowly, and I want it to close it down again. Now, I could use that a little bit faster. So, endless hours of fun with envelopes. I'll see you tomorrow.